Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Abhirami and I am here to discuss with you about today's topic, that is the structure of the skeletal muscles. Okay, so today we will be talking about the muscle mass, muscle fiber, other proteins of the muscle, myofibril, sarcomere and the contractile elements. Okay, so now let's talk about the muscle mass. Muscle mass or muscle tissue is made up of a large number of muscle cells. Okay, and muscle cells are also called as muscle fibers or myocytes. And muscle cells are called as muscle fibers because of a certain reason, and that reason is that muscle cells look long and slender in appearance. Okay, therefore they are called as muscle fibers. And the muscle cells of a skeletal muscle are arranged parallelly with connective tissue in between them, and a muscle mass or muscle tissue is separated from the neighboring tissues by a thick fibrous tissue layer known as fascia. Okay, so muscle mass is separated from the other tissues by fascia, and beneath the fascia there is another layer of connective tissue which is called epimysium. Okay, and then the muscle cells inside the muscle tissue are arranged into bundles called fasciculi. So fasciculi. Okay, so muscle cells are arranged into bundles called fasciculi, and each fasciculi is covered by a connective tissue known as perimysium. Okay, and the muscle cells inside the fasciculi are covered by another connective tissue known as endomysium. Okay, so there are totally 4 connective tissues: the fascia, which separates a muscle tissue from another muscle tissue, and then the epimysium beneath the fascia, and then the perimysium, which covers the muscle fasciculi, and then the endomysium, which covers individual muscle fibers. Okay, so this is the picture of all 4 connective tissues. Now let's talk about a muscle fiber. Muscle fibers of a skeletal muscle is cylindrical in shape and it is attached to tendons. Okay, and tendons connect the muscle to bone. Tendons of some muscles may be flat and thin but stretched and tough. Okay, so these tendons are called as aponeurosis. So tendons which are flat and thin but stretched and tough are called as aponeurosis. Okay, remember that. The muscle fiber is protected by a cell membrane, which is also called as plasma membrane, and the cell membrane lies beneath the endomysium, and the cell membrane of a muscle cell is also called as a sarcolemma. Okay, sarcolemma, sarcolemma. Okay, and the cytoplasm of the muscle cell is called as sarcoplasm. Okay, and structures which are embedded in the sarcoplasm include the nucleus, mitochondria, ribosomes, and then the Golgi body, sarcoplasmic reticulum or endoplasmic reticulum. So endoplasmic reticulum is called as sarcoplasmic reticulum in the muscle cell. So it also has the nucleus and the myofibrils. It has glycogen droplets and occasional lipid droplets. Okay, so these are the substances which are present in the sarcoplasm. I'll repeat them again. They include the nucleus, mitochondria, Golgi body, sarcoplasmic reticulum, myofibril, occasional glycogen droplets and lipid droplets. Okay, so these are the 8 things which are present inside the muscle fiber. Right. The muscle cell of the skeletal muscle is multinucleated, and the nucleus are present just beneath the plasma membrane. Okay, so the nucleus are not in the interior of the cell like many other cells, but they are present just interior to the plasma membrane or the sarcolemma. Okay, now let's talk about the next thing, that is the myofibril. We will be talking about the definition, morphology and microscopic structure of the myofibril. Okay, so myofibrils are thin filaments which are present parallelly in the sarcoplasm of a muscle cell. Okay, so they are thin filaments present parallelly in the sarcoplasm of the muscle cell. Now let's talk about the morphology of a myofibril. Okay, so each myofibril runs along the entire length of a muscle fiber, and the myofibrils in a certain region of muscle fiber are arranged into groups called Cohen's areas or fields. Okay, so Cohen's is COHN-HEIM, Cohen's areas or fields. Okay, now let's talk about the microscopic structure of a myofibril. Okay, so light microscopic studies show that the myofibril is made up of alternating light and dark bands, and these bands are also called as segments, sections or discs. The light and dark bands are made up of proteins, and the light band is also called as the I band, and the dark band is also called as the A band. Now let's talk about the light band. The light band or the I band means isotropic. So I stands for isotropic. This is because the light band is isotropic to polarized light. When polarized light is passed through the isotropic band, it is refracted at the same angle through which it was incident. Okay, so the angle of the incident ray and the refracted ray is the same in the light band. And when the polarized light is passed through the dark band, the light is refracted at different angles. Okay, so that is why the dark band or A band is actually anisotropic band. And the dark band is also called as Q disc. This is because Q stands for Querscheibe. Okay, Querscheibe. Okay, Querscheibe. And this is actually a word in German which means cross discs. Okay, and an intact muscle fiber, the A band and the I band are arranged parallelly, okay, like this. And because of this, we can see the characteristic cross striations. Okay, and the I band is divided into two portions or two halves by a line called the Z line. Okay, and the Z line, Z stands for Zwiskenscheibe. Okay, so in the Z line, Z stands for Zwiskenscheibe. Zwiskenscheibe is a word in German and it means between discs. The Z line divides the I disc into two halves, and Zwiskenscheibe means between discs. Okay, and Z stands for Zwiskenscheibe. The portion between two Z lines are called the sarcomere. Okay, so this is the Z line and this is the I band and this is the A band. Okay, so A band is this portion, I band is this portion, and this is the Z line. So the blue lines continue like this, okay, and the Z band divides the I band into two equal halves. Okay, so now let's talk about a sarcomere. We will be talking about its definition, the extent, the components, and the electron microscopic studies. Okay, so sarcomere is the structural and functional unit of a skeletal muscle. Okay, you can note that down. The sarcomere is the structural and functional unit of a skeletal muscle, or it is the contractile unit of a muscle. Yeah. So now let's talk about the extent. So there are many sarcomeres in a muscle fiber and they are arranged in a series throughout the muscle fiber. Okay, and the sarcomere extends between one Z line to another Z line. So this is the sarcomere of a muscle fiber. Okay, now let's talk about the components of the sarcomere. The sarcomere is made up of one half of an I band, another half of an I band, and then A band. Okay, so that is all a sarcomere is made up of. And in the middle of the A band, that is this region, is called the H zone. Okay, H stands for Hensen, that is the discoverer of the H zone. And in the middle of the H zone, there is a line called the M line. The M line is formed by myosin binding proteins. The M line is made up of myosin binding proteins, and M means Mittel in German. So Mittel means middle. Okay, so M means Mittel and Mittel means middle. Okay, so that is about the M line. Actually, the Z line doesn't allow any light to pass through it. Okay, so now let's talk about the next thing, that is the electron microscopic studies of a sarcomere. Okay, so the electron microscopic studies reveal that the sarcomere is made up of two myofilaments, that is actin filament and myosin filament. Okay, so just to get it cleared up, we have a muscle mass or a muscle tissue which has a lot of muscle fibers inside it. The muscle fibers are arranged in a bundle called fasciculi, and the muscle fibers have something called the myofibril inside them. The myofibril have alternating light and dark bands. On electron microscopic studies, we find out that these myofibrils actually are made up of myofilaments, and there are two types, actin and myosin. Okay, so now let's talk about the actin myofilament. The actin filament is thin and it is present over the I band. It extends into the A band. This region is the A band, remember, so it extends into the A band until the H zone. Okay, so it doesn't go inside the H zone. Okay, and the myosin filaments are thick filaments which are present only in the A band. Okay, now let's talk about the cross bridges. So as you can see, there are things that arise from the myosin filament. These are called the cross bridges, and they have a globular portion called the head, and then there is a tail. So the globular head portion has two binding sites, one for ATP and one for actin, and the actin binding sites actually bind with the actin filament over here, and during contraction they pull the actin filaments toward the center. Okay, so when they pull it towards the center, the Z line also comes together, and the H zone decreases in space. Okay, so this is called the sliding mechanism or the ratchet mechanism. This is how a muscle contracts basically. The cross bridges are not present in the H zone. That is also a point to note. Now let's talk about the next thing, that is the contractile elements. Okay, so there are 4 contractile elements. Firstly, the myosin filament is made up of myosin molecules. Okay, and the actin filament is made up of actin, tropomyosin and troponin. Okay, so myosin, actin, tropomyosin and troponin are actually proteins, and myosin forms the myosin filament, and the actin, tropomyosin and troponin form the actin filament. Okay, so this is an image of the actin filament, and this is an image of the myosin filament. Now let's talk deeply about the myosin filament. So in a myosin filament there are about 200 myosin molecules, and there are actually 18 classes of myosin molecules, but the myosin 2 is only present in the muscle fibers. Okay, so these 200 myosin molecules are present, and each myosin molecule weighs about 4,80,000. Okay, so the myosin molecule is made up of 6 polypeptide chains. There are 4 light chains and 2 heavy chains. Okay, so these blue colored boxes are the light chains, and the red ones are the heavy chains. There are 2 heavy chains and 4 light chains. Each heavy chain weighs 2 lakh. Okay, so there are 2 heavy chains, so it makes 4 lakh together, and each light chain weighs 20,000, and there are 4, so they make 80,000 totally. So 4,80,000 is the weight of a single myosin molecule. Okay, and each myosin molecule has a head part and a tail part. The myosin molecule is a globulin, and it has a head part and a tail part. The tail part is formed by 2 polypeptide chains, the 2 heavy chains, which are coiled around each other, and they form a double helix structure. Okay, and the head part is formed by both the light chains and the heavy chains, and at one end of the double helix the head part separates into 2 different parts, and each part has 2 light chains with it. Okay, and in that, one light chain is essential and another light chain is regulatory. So the essential light chain is responsible for the structural stability of the myosin head, and the regulatory light chain is responsible for the regulation of the kinetics of the myosin molecule. Okay, so regulatory light chain regulates the kinetics of the myosin molecule, and the essential light chain is for the structural stability of the myosin molecule, myosin head. Okay, and each myosin head has 2 attachment sites, one for actin and one for ATP. So this is the myosin head that is present over here, the globular part. Okay, so each myosin head has 2 attachment sites, one for actin and one for ATP, and the myosin molecules are not present in the H zone. Okay, so they are absent in the H zone. Now let's talk about the next thing, that is the actin molecule. Okay, so actin molecules, there are actually 300 to 400 actin molecules in actin filament, and they form the major portion of the actin filament. Okay, and the actin molecules are actually of 2 types, the F-actin and the G-actin. The F-actin is the monomeric actin, and the G-actin is the polymeric actin. Okay, so this is the G-actin. Okay, if you take this totally, this is the G-actin, and each globular part is called the F-actin. Okay, and there are 300 to 400 actin molecules, and each actin molecule weighs 42,000. Okay, and the actin molecules are twisted to form a double helix, just like the tail of the myosin molecule. Okay, the myosin head has a binding site for the actin molecule, and the F-actin has a binding site for the myosin molecule. Okay, now let's talk about the next thing, that is the tropomyosin. So the tropomyosin molecules, as you can see, is the black line, and the tropomyosin molecule are actually situated along the double helix of actin filament, and there are about 40 to 60 tropomyosin molecule that weigh 70,000. Each of them weighs 70,000. Okay, and the tropomyosin molecule's main function is to cover the binding sites of the F-actin. So it covers all the binding sites of the F-actin for the myosin filament. Okay, if it doesn't cover it, then contraction can happen anytime, or the muscle can remain contracted all the time. Okay, so now let's talk about the troponin molecule. The troponin molecule is made up of 3 components, troponin I, troponin T, and troponin C. Troponin I binds with the F-actin, troponin T binds with the tropomyosin, and troponin C binds with the calcium. Now let's talk about the next topic, that is the other proteins of the muscle. Okay, so there are 5 other proteins of the muscle. They include the actinin, desmin, titin, nebulin, and dystrophin. Okay, so actinin connects the actin molecules to the Z line. So the actin molecule is connected to the Z line through actinin. Okay, and desmin connects the Z line to the sarcolemma. So sarcolemma is the plasma membrane, and so desmin connects the Z line to the sarcolemma. Okay, titin is a very large molecule and it connects the M line to the Z line. Okay, and it forms the scaffolding or the framework of a sarcomere, and the titin unfolds itself whenever the muscle is stretched. So whenever the muscle is stretched, the titin unfolds itself, and if the muscle is stretched more, then to avoid damage, the titin offers resistance so that the sarcomere won't be damaged. Okay, so the next thing is the nebulin. Nebulin is a protein that runs alongside the actin filament. It runs parallel to the actin filament. Now let's talk about the last protein, that is the dystrophin. So dystrophin connects the actin filaments that are present in the I band. So dystrophin connects the actin filament to the dystroglycan. Okay, so dystroglycan is a transmembrane protein which is present in the cell membrane. Okay, so actin is connected to the cell membrane through dystrophin. Okay, so dystrophin and dystroglycan form the dystrophin-dystroglycan complex, or it is also called as dystrophin glycoprotein complex. Okay, so there are some points that is noteworthy to remember, that is the I band is made up of actin filaments only. Okay, but the A band is made up of both actin and myosin filaments, because the I band, the actin filament, extends into the A band until the H zone. Okay, and the cross bridges are not present in the H zone. Okay, so that is the next thing. The cross bridges are not present in the H zone, and the Z line is impervious to light, and there are 200 myosin molecules, 300 to 400 actin molecules, 40 to 60 tropomyosin molecules. So what are the proteins which are present inside the muscle cell? Okay, let's count them now. First is the actin, myosin, troponin, tropomyosin, and then the desmin, titin, nebulin, dystrophin, and actinin. Okay, so there are totally 9 molecules. So thank you, that is the end of the session. Thank you for listening to me, and if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe and comment on it. And if you have doubts in bones of the upper limb, you can visit my previous videos. Thank you.